This is Power Rangers against Empire. This is Starseries, and yep. So, hey everybody, welcome back to Starseries Season 5. This is our second game of this entire season. As always, I'm Basecape, bringing you guys this one. This is going to be, again, a group stage matchup between Power Rangers, who are going to be over on the Radiant side, and Team Empire, who should be all too familiar to everyone at this point. Over on the Dire, I think I've already done introduction, so that's about it. Big thanks to the organizers for letting people cast off the Dota TV tickets, which is what I'm doing currently, and I think the official English coverage in-game right now, if anyone has a ticket, is Shiver. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Power Rangers actually going to start us off with a Clinks ban, and Silencer throwing everyone for a loop. We saw a really interesting draft last game between Lions Pride and 3D Clan. And we'll see what ends up making it through this game. I'm very excited to see. And it's nice to see the metagame changing around, I suppose. Just a hero that has been in Dota 2 for a while, being pushed through, as opposed to someone being implemented and then being pushed through into the competitive scene about 2 weeks later. So we'll have to see how this all works out. And yeah, Lone Druid going to be banned up by Empire. We're going to see the staple bans of the last couple of weeks making it through into the pool. And I think Empire sort of vying for either the Clinks or the Keeper of the Light, and they're pretty much going to be able to get one of them regardless. Bane's going to be banned up by Power Rangers, so it looks like it's banning for the teams as opposed to I guess banning for the meta. And Empire, if they want it, have Silencer ready. So everybody's seen Scandal's Dota profile, or if you haven't at this point, he has been playing a lot of Silencer. There are pages and pages of Silencer on his Dota profile, and people have been saying, well, you know, Empire, they're going to be playing Silencer, and it is now available, so we might see it, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Worth noting as well, Batrider makes it through, Nyx makes it through, Magnus makes it through, Darkseer makes it through, and Batrider is actually going to be the choice here by Empire, and Wisp also, along with the Keeper of Light, do both make it through as well. So Power Rangers, pick of the litter, they're going to be able to get the Wisp and the Nyx. Keeper of Light going to be taken by Empire. What a crazy strong draft we're seeing at the moment. I mean, if you told me a week ago that we were going to see Wisp, Nyx, Batrider, Keeper of the Light all make it through into a game, I might have called you crazy, but it's now working out. So yeah, exciting stuff. Power Rangers, pretty good support. Unfortunately, they might be offensively tri-laned against here between the Wisp and the Nyx. Nyx is okay in a defensive tri-lane, but just by virtue of being melee, he does have trouble. And Empire locking in some really strong solos right now between the Batrider and the Darkseer if they are looking towards the defensive tri-lane route. They have lost the Bane, which I really want to say is one of their favorite offensive tri-lane heroes, and is great set up with the Keeper of the Light, but I think they're going to be able to push something through that they're going to be happy with regardless if they want to run the defensive tri-lane. And again, still Silencer in the pool. We might see it from Empire. He could be the primary farmer in an offensive tri-lane. That is one potential role for him, though we just might not see it from Empire this game. The Global Silence, I guess, worth mentioning as a fairly good tool to deal with CK Wisp relocate ganks, if that's the pairing we're going to be seeing from Power Rangers. And if that's what they want, they're going to have to lock it right now. So I'm actually going to opt to pick up the Shadow Demon, which I suppose bumps the Nyx up a little bit as far as farm priority goes, and I guess leaves them a little bit open to those bans on the Wisp partner carries. So I'm talking Tiny, I'm talking CK, and I'm talking Nyx. They're not necessarily in that order, so we'll have to see. And what's it going to be for Empire? I mean, so Power Rangers right now, they've sort of bumped the Nyx up. They haven't necessarily bumped him into a definitive position just yet, but if he's going to be getting more farm, it's probably going to be on mid. He's not terrible against Batrider if you start it with some early mana burn, and even if he's not on mid, he can make the mid matchup easier if they are against Bat, just by coming in, checking out a few early mana burns, and that makes the lane a lot more sustainable. Magnus can be banned out here by Empire. Anti-Mage can be removed from the pool by Power Rangers. And worth noting as well that Phantom Lancer has made it through as well, so Empire do have that option up their sleeve if they're looking for that carry. But they've already got 2 great solos in the Batride and the Darkseer. The great thing about those 2 solos that they've also picked up is that they're both extremely flexible, pretty much viable in every single lane and basically every single lane configuration as well. Both of them can be tri-laned. And both of them can start off fantastically in the jungle. So if Empire want to go greedy, the option is there. And no big surprise, they're going to be opting to lock out the CK here. The Nake's actually going to be banned by Power Rangers. And Tiny, the last remaining sort of combo with the Wisp, is in the pool. But I think Empire might just leave it, since a Tiny Wisp defensive tri-lane is extremely easy to offensively tri-lane against. Tiny is fodder for an offensive try, and his aggression doesn't really complement the Wisp in the same way that the CK does. So we'll have to see how this works out for PR here. And Empire still have those last 2 flexible picks to put themselves into an offensive tri-lane situation. There is still the Gyrocopter pick as well if they're looking towards that, and I think that's also one of Empire's sort of favorite tri-lane, sort of favorite all-around heroes. So that option is there for them. And as far as solos go, Power Rangers not looking all that great either, especially matching up against Batrider and Darkseer, 2 of the strongest solos in the game. And yeah, I think Empire have just drafted themselves into a fantastic position right now. They're going to choose to ban out the Sven, in fact, and again, I think they're just going to leave the Tiny in the pool. So maybe Power Rangers pick it up, then they offensively tri-lane, and then hopefully every lane will work out fantastically for Empire. And then at least in their mind, I guess that's pretty much game over. So PR, they're just targeting the carry bans right now. I like the Lifestealer ban, since the Open Wounds is a pretty good setup for the Keeper of the Light, Illuminate, and any other stun that you need set up for. Especially if you're looking for someone like a support Leshrac for more push, support Lena. They don't really have set up right now. They could pick up either of them to punish defensive disruptions on the side of Power Rangers, but unless the 3rd hero in the tri-lane has some setup, then picking up one of those supports is going to be difficult as far as landing Disable. So we might see something like Rubik. Again, Phantom Lancer still in the pool as well for Empire if they just want to go defensive and farm up. And we'll see what Power Rangers move into right now. They've pretty much got 3 supports. They need to be going for those big hard hitters. But Empire already sort of removing a lot of them from the pool before heading into this next phase. And one downside of Power Rangers choosing to pick up those 2 supports right from the start. So yeah, just going to be chewing into the reserve time right now for this last ban out. And I'm just going to have another sip of water. Since for some reason, casting the last couple of days has done a number on me, so having a couple of voice issues, but I think I should be fine. And PR, what's it going to be? They threw 2 carry bans already. Empire have already got their solos. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Rubik, since Empire, if they are running that defensive tri-lane, do need someone with Disable. But there are plenty of options still in the pool, even if the Rubik gets banned out. And we've got some calls for Lyric, so Skeleton King, for Empire right now from chat. Not sure if we'll see it, but would be entertaining all the same. And it's actually going to be a Weaver ban out right now by Empire. So here's Silencer. Here he comes. Silencer's ready to go. We're going to see the extremely aggravating Keeper of the Light plus Silencer. So it means that Silencer can actually justify some early points in Curse of the Silent, because that non-stop spam, if they are running this as an offensive tri-lane, is going to be devastating. I mean, Nyx has, you know, a couple of spammable abilities to remove it, but he's still investing mana every single time it's cast, and I think everybody's been looking forward to Silencer. We're going to see some of him in this game. So if Empire are going to be running an defensive tri-lane, they need some Disable, but then apart from that, it's looking pretty strong, and Power Rangers now looking for that carry and their remaining solo, and it's actually going to be Phantom Lancer for them, so suspecting that Empire might have been looking to grab that one with the Silencer pickup. Probably not going to be doing so. I'm not sure how much farm we're going to see in the hands of the Silencer, though I am predicting him as the primary farmer in the trial. And he could be a support, but it leaves Empire's ganking as far as supports go a little bit weak. And yeah, as people are saying, Wisp has got nobody to really effectively tether to in this game. They don't even necessarily have a strong ganking hero that they can relocate and then have the Nyx sort of waiting in the wings to go for big pickoffs. And Power Rangers, I mean, I mentioned Tiny as being quite weak against offensive tri-lanes. Phantom Lancer is a very similar story. Their only really strong defensive tri-lane hero right now is the Shadow Demon, and the considerable cooldown on the disruption is going to be a problem, especially with the mana burn coming from the Silencer. And Silencer can be a terrifying carry in his own right, especially if he starts to get some stolen int rolling. And especially for someone like the Nyx, who's very heavily reliant on getting Arcane Boots just to sustain his early mana. If he starts to lose int early on, he may even end up too low to finish off his entire combo, so that could be trouble. Empire, just considering this last pickup right now, I think they'd like to grab a little bit more single target disable, since their only interrupts right now, well, they don't have any TP interrupts on the Silencer. They've got a Vacuum on the Darkseer, and then they've got the Flame Break and the Lasso on the Batrider, but nothing all that spammable there. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit of spammable disable, though it could still just be a carry bumping the Silencer back. And hello to Ryan Editor in chat.
10 seconds remaining.
So, Power Rangers, how do they round this off? Well, it's going to be a Brewmaster for Empire, so Bat, Darkseer, and Brew probably going to be the farmers in this situation, and that might bump the Silencer back a little bit. We'll see who it's going to be played by in this game. Definitely interested to see. And PR, if they're just going to be running a standard lane configuration with the Nyx heading towards mid, the defensive tri-lane, they sort of need an offlaner. Nature's Prophet would be pretty good if they feel they are going to be offensively tri-laned against here by Empire. And Empire, it's really an early to mid-game sort of lineup. I mean, Silencer and Brewmaster, two sort of semi-carries, and obviously the Darkseer and the Batrider carry quite well through into the mid-game, but they don't have the same sort of late-game presence that the Phantom Lancer is looking to provide, so really just hoping to, well, Power Rangers right now just sort of hoping to wait it out to the late game, and they are actually going to have to pick up a Queen of Pain here, so that's going to be their remaining solo. I mentioned the Nature's Prophet since if they're going to be offensively tri-laned against, he's got some nice potential for punish, and Empire right now, their solos are looking pretty strong between the Darkseer and the Bat. Okay, so heading ourselves into the game, I'll have a quick pop over of the overlays. And over on Empire, it is going to be Silent playing the Keeper of the Light, Scandal on the Darkseer, and Go Black is going to be on the Brewmaster, Funnick on the Bat, and we've got Blow Your Brain on the Silencer. Over on the side of Power Rangers, we've got NNI playing the Shadow Demon's going to be Moonlight on the Phantom Lancer. Okay, CHS, okay, someone's going to have to help me with that one. Playing the Nyx, and it's going to be ZXC on the Queen of Pain, and Kot playing the Wisp. Just having a little bit of issues picking up the names against the background there. But anyway, for Empire, what's the lane configuration going to be? We don't have any sentries picked up. We've got a Magic Stick on the Keeper of the Light. This is definitely looking like offensive tri-lane territory for Empire, and making their way down towards bot right now. Scandal's going to be heading towards mid, Bottle Rush primed for him, and Funnick just making his way up towards this solo top on the Bat. And am I listed as a broadcaster in the client? No, I am not. I'm not actually in the lobby, I'm just in via Data TV. Wisp has two gauntlets to start us off. ZXC has the Magic Stick ready and raring to go. And he's actually, looks like he's going to be making his way up towards top right now. So we'll be matching up against the Batrider. A nice early pickup for him. There is some kill potential going his way, especially in a flat lane against the Bat. Though Funnick, if he's renowned for anything, he's renowned for his dominance in 1v1 situations, and we'll see if he's going to be able to pull that through in this game. We've got some extremely defensive warding already starting out from PR, but definitely what they need to be doing, especially with the Keeper of the Light looking to hide off in the trees. So if they can dodge the majority of the damage from those early Illuminates, they're going to be in pretty good standing. So there's only really 2 Illuminates before Keeper of the Light starts to get a couple of levels. So if you can mitigate the majority of the damage from those early 2, then you're in a good spot. And this ward's going to be helping out quite a bit. There aren't any sentries over on Empire either, so no chance to remove that. Go Black still just chilling down by this haste turn. Might be looking to make something happen with it. Blow is actually getting the farm right now, and just getting mana burned a little bit to start things off down in this bottom lane. And Silent's actually going to be making a move towards mid. It is a solo mid Wisp right now for Power Rangers, so matching up against the Darkseer, it's not all that unusual, and the fast level 6 is going to help out that bottom lane, or at least having the threat there will help out the bottom lane a little bit, but it's not necessarily super strong. And Go Black will finally grab that haste, so now making his way down and around. Power Rangers have a double stack of Alpha Wolves looking to pull that one out, but Go Black comes in looking for the interrupt with the haste, and will deny the pull. So a nice little play there from him. Threatens back behind the tower. Still has a little bit of haste left. He wants this. The Nyx is now already completely out of mana, and Blow investing that point in Glaives of Wisdom, so we don't actually have Curse of the Silent just yet. We may opt to see him skip it completely, since he is the primary farmer right now. And Goblack actually back behind the tower, gonna throw out a clap, will eat a Spirit Lance for his trouble, and Moonlight, not actually able to block off the path just yet there. We've got an Illuminate flying through from Silent, just some blows being traded back and forth, and Power Rangers actually just hiding down in the trees, and then I did cop a bit of that Illuminate as well, and yeah, just a ward down right now from Empire. It's a fairly defensive one, frankly. They don't have vision back behind the tower right now, and I guess the one weird thing for Power Rangers is that they don't actually have Rune Vision right now. That second Observer Ward is actually still in the Shadow Demon's inventory, and that's a big help for Scandal, who does not manage to grab the 2-minute rune, so a regen up for him. Wisp doesn't really have the potential to control the wave as well as the Darkseer, but knowing where the rune is especially vital, because if Darkseer finds something lucky, he can look to head down towards the bottom lane and try and make something happen. So I guess PR maybe just not quite getting into position early enough, and Empire actually just jacking the pull right now, so happy not to block it out. Illuminate's going to fly through as well, and whoever gets the last hits does get all of the XP, so a full deny there from Empire on that stacked camp. And now up to level 3 on the Silencer. He's got that point up in Curse of the Silent. Silent up to level 2, he's got the Chakra Magic ready to go, and Goblack still down at level 1, but things looking pretty good for them right now, and PR just a little bit of farm found on the PL, but not a whole lot, and he's now out of regen. What are the regen totals looking like in this lane? There's still a little bit left, and PR actually going for a smoke up and around right now, so they're going to be leaving the Phantom Lancer alone solo. We'll see how defensively he plays. He might give the game away here by just playing extraordinarily defensively and giving the fact that these supports aren't here away, but Empire might be getting suspicious quite soon. Scandal's going to pop off the regen on mid, so he will be at least fully top where this gank comes in. There isn't a Soul Catcher just yet on the Shadow Demon. The spirits are being primed by the Wisp, but the wave is pushing in quite heavily right now. And PR, they're going to be revealed as they come in for the smoke. It may have been duration, but that's a lot of time wasted for these supports. I mean, PL wasn't really punished in their absence, but yeah, that was not fantastic. And Scandal and Funnick doing a great job in their lanes. Funnick doubling the Queen of Pain's farm right now and keeping him back just with those stacks up. And it's actually a second point in the blink right now for ZXC, so he is playing extremely cautiously. The 4-minute rune looks like it was just denied by one of the two supports down on bot. Wasn't able to catch exactly what it was. I did have a couple more dropped frames in amongst the last little bit, guys, though again it looks like it's cleared up, so just a brief spat. Hopefully it stays that way. Sorry about that, guys. And yeah, we do finally have Rune Vision up for Power Rangers right now, so that minor criticism assuaged at the moment. Attempting to run some pulls. Empire still playing quite defensively, but they're accomplishing their goal. They're shutting down the farm on the Phantom Lancer and putting some pressure on him, though. Good play from PR has prevented any kills going the way of Empire just yet. And the Illuminate will just barely clip the Nyx. The speed was increased as well of the magical pony wave in the last patch, along with a couple of other changes to wave-based spells, so it's even more difficult to dodge out of the way of the Illuminate. And looks like I've had a pretty bad bout of frame drop in the last second. So let's I'm gonna take this pause opportunity to just quickly check that I don't have anything weird open, and nothing's gonna be eating up my bandwidth. Again, it's really tenuous for me to be streaming in Australia, but yeah, looks like everything should more or less be okay, and fingers crossed everything will be fine. So got the unpause going. Silent actually opted to invest the second point in the Illuminate as opposed to the second point in Chakra. Goblack's not really doing all that much with his mana right now. And Blow seems to be fine. Actually going for a Curse of the Silent build right now, though we haven't really seen it come into full effect just yet. There is going to be a Doppelwalk from the PL and managing to dispel the curse and the last word there, so still quite low. There's still two salves left in this lane for PR, but once those are depleted, it's gonna be hard times for them. And Wisp now up to level 6 might be able to do something by relocating in down on bot, but it's gonna be tough. And up on top, Funnick just continues to put pressure the Queen of Pain out of lane. Again, we saw there's 2 points up in the blink. There's the knockback. Funnick is up to level 6, not quite enough for the lasso just yet, and will be tanking the tower a little bit as he makes his approach. But looking like it's going to be fine. We've got a disruption out on the Brewmaster. The Impale is going to fly through. There's a last word up on the PL, and GoBlack still dropping low. Wisp comes in with the relocate from the rear. First Blood's going to be drawn, and Empire now being driven back. Nice gank there from the Wisp. And he's got a couple of seconds left, so just playing up. We'll get a few slaps back from Empire. But going to be heading back to whence he came, and going to be absolutely fine there. 6-man urn picked up by Scandal. So spawning for him down on bot, going to be making his way over towards mid, and Wisp a little bit unlucky with the wave timings right now. That looks like he's going to be fine in case Scandal tries to go for anything too aggressive. And yeah, PR holding out well down in this bottom lane in that first blood. Definitely a big boon, managing to get rid of some vision as well from Empire. So keeping themselves a little bit safer, and now finding some farm on the PL, though it's not all that much. And the 3 solos from Empire, well, the 3 primary farmers working out fantastically at the moment. And yeah, vision for Empire hasn't been refreshed just yet. We just passed 6 minutes, no kill for them. And down on this bottom lane, we've got some treads finished up on Blow. Pretty much nothing on GoBlack, and still only down at level 3. So not having a great time just yet. The second point in the Illuminate is quite aggressive. It sort of shows that he's expecting to get a kill using it before getting to that second point in the Chakra, as opposed to a more harass-oriented build, and hasn't necessarily paid off with the Wisp coming in for the gank. But Empire still fine on this bottom lane. The Power Rangers are finding levels. They are running some successful pulls. Shadow Demon made his way all the way back to base. He's coming out with a fresh set of observers. And Scandal now actually making his way down towards bot. The Ape is still a ways away. So he's just going to be rewarding here from Empire, so nobody has to leave this bottom lane. And Funnick, how's that timing on the blink going for him? Doing fairly well as far as farm goes. It's the same story as ever. And ZXC farms a bit, gets 1 stack up, blinks himself away. Just playing so cautiously right now, and Scandal makes his way up. Finds himself an invis as the 8-man urn. So doing a great job with lane control on mid, but Wisp still getting things done, which is nice, and he's almost got the relocate up. Again, keep an eye on the spirits. That's going to be the indicator since he wants a double set of spirits before every gank. The Illuminate is not going to connect on the Nyx there, and we'll just pop off the Carapace to buy himself some space. And Blow, now actually the target. There's going to be a disruption. The TP in from the Quap as well. There's an Illuminate, oh, there's not an Illuminate, there's an Impale. Blow throwing out as much as he possibly can to try and find the kill on the Shadow Demon. Looks like he will be successful with the last word, and GoBlack still going to work, but now being chased down by 4. Are they going to be able to find this Tether Stun? They don't really need it. GoBlack throws out one last clap and flies up a magic wand before he drops. But that's going to be it, and 2 kills claimed by PR down on this bottom lane with only 1 the exchange from Empire. And Empire frankly getting caught out a little bit out of position. They came in looking for the Nyx, and then a great disruption from Shadow Demon to start everything off. Empire going to send the 2 solos up towards top to try and claim this tier 1, and Scandal making some good progress towards his mech, and Funnick only a couple hundred gold away from the blink, so we might see him get the last hit on this tower and then have that one finished up. And I'm continuously keeping an eye on the frame drop, guys, so hopefully that doesn't persist, but it seems to have stabilized at least for now. Empire trying to get this tower. Is the last hit going to go to Funnick? Yes, it will, so that's almost going to finish up his blink, and from there, hopefully going to be doing what Funnick does best, putting on a little pressure. Oh, Wisp is actually out of mana on mid, so Blow is going in really aggressively. The Wisp is quite tanky, and this is actually a Power Rangers staple, I believe, the solo mid Dagon Wisp, which is going to be coming up next. So they've got the global Dagon, the global Urn after that. And he will be harassed back to base right now, but the relocate going to be up in just a second. And yeah, I actually saw this Dagon Wisp run against N9 of all people, I believe, within recent memory, run by Power Rangers. So Blow makes his way up and around the Nyx, not really in a compromising position, and the relocate's going to come in. Silent immediately caught, and 1 more kill going the way of the Wisp, now hunting for Blow, trying to make his escape, and GoBlack just going to split off to the side. Moonlight doesn't have enough mana for anything right now, and Funnick makes his way down towards bot, but with the Keeper of Light already dead, we'll see if they're going to be able to get anything done. And I mean, Wisp has now head back to base, and he's got his Dagon finished. Scandal's going to be able to claim the tier 1 on mid, so some more gold in the pockets of Empire, and Funnick now looking for the pick. He still has the blink, going to be able to get the drag back on the Shadow Demon. He is now in big trouble. Does manage to get the defensive disruption off, however, And the global silence on cooldown. Goblack still going to work, but the Shadow Demon standing his ground, and Wisp comes in, pops the Brewmaster with the Dagon. Now Funnick in trouble. Shadow Strike lands, and it's still a 5-kill lead as the dust settles for Power Rangers. So nicely played there, and the Wisp doing work. 4-0-2 his score at the moment. It's about a 750 XP lead in favor of PR, though about a 4k gold swing with those 2 towers taken uncontested. But yeah, Empire, this tri-lane really being punished down in this bottom lane. And maybe Silencer not working out quite as well as they hoped. They don't really have any setup disable to try and find kills, and Power Rangers punishing any small positioning error that they see with the immediate disruption into the Impale. And now Wisp down on bot one more time. He's got the Dagon prepped. He doesn't have any spirits up right now, but they've got the nuke through, and I think the Dagon will just pop blow immediately. There's going to be an Illuminate, but Moonlight will be absolutely fine, just tethering up with the Wisp's regen. And that's one more kill going the way of PR, now leading by 6. So Empire now throwing everyone down towards bot. Scandal's coming in. He's got his mech finished up. He is going to be spotted out by the Wisp here. He's got tether ready, so not really going to be in trouble. And Scandal actually looking for a cheesy vacuum up onto the high ground, down on bot. Sound dropping low. The illusion's actually been enough to kill him off. Now the Nick's in trouble, out of mana. Funnick going to work. They should be able to find this one. They get the Ion Shell. Why the name is avoiding me, I'm not sure. But they do manage to find that kill. But it's still a 6-kill lead for Power Rangers. Empire doing a pretty good job as far as the push goes. And ZXC just taking the opportunity to try and find some recovery farm up on top. We've seen him go for a double null, which is sort of a, I'm not really having a great start, let's try and find some kills, be a little bit more active build on the Queen of Pain. And we've got mass DPs heading down towards bot. It's all of Power Rangers coming in, and Moonlight actually running up and around. Funnick Surge looking for that lasso, is going to be able to find someone, does manage to grab onto the Wisp, but now the Brewmaster ultimate pops as well. Shadow Demon dropping low, will drop. Nick's trying to do some work with the Carapace, but in comes the Sonic Wave, Blow dropping low, and the PL still doing work at the back of this fight. A little bit of Fireflies still damaging there, but Funnick is already on the mat, and it's a 2-for-2 exchange so far. The lift up into the air. Goblack now in trouble, will be focused down. That's 3-for-1 the exchange, and one last Illuminate thrown by Silent to end that engagement. But favorable for Power Rangers, even with not the global silence popping, but the Brewmaster ultimate was used, and now finding themselves in a great position. I mean, even with PL having the bad start that he did, these early assists and the early kills are doing great for him, and not actually that far behind as far as net worth ranks up. But gotta say, this Wisp is working out great for them. And I guess I talked about a Nature's Prophet as that potential last pickup to try and help out the tri-line, but it's actually been a Wisp bringing in that global threat. And it looks like he's got his eyes peeled right now. He's got the spirits going. He's going to have the relocate in just a second. The only person you can see on the map right now is Blow, and they don't really have tabs on the rest of Empire's heroes, so we might not see this spirit as they go. Might wait for one more setup. No, we've got the relocate heading up towards top. They're looking for Blow. Blow just going to try and run himself away, but the spirit damage. The tether stun with a nicely ranged blink as well from ZXC. And the Dagon finding that one. And now Funnick comes in, but actually has to reconsider his options. Doesn't have the lasso up just yet, so all he can do is pop off the Firefly. That's pretty much it. And yeah, Phantom Lancer now has a ton of space down on bot. Empire just switching up the lanes a little bit, but pushing into the tier 2s is going to be significantly more difficult. And even with that gold lead that they've had so far, Goblack in trouble on mid. They've got the blink, they've got the tether stun, nicely timed there by PR, and the spirits finish off Goblack as well. So another easy peasy pickup for PR, and Empire just being picked to pieces in these lanes. I mean, Scandal coming in, but just a little bit too late to try and do anything. And we'll start to get some points up in the wall fairly soon, but again, Empire don't really have all that much late game, and a big dive behind the tower for PR finds a kill on Blow Your Brain, who just TP'd in down towards bot. And a tower falls as well, so that's a tier 1 claims by PR. It's looking fantastic for them. And Empire, I mean, they tried to take team fights, but it hasn't worked out in their favor so far, and I guess maybe the Silencer pickup not working out as well as they perhaps hoped. It does almost have his Force Staff finished up, but 5 deaths to his name. Not necessarily doing a great job. And yeah, PR just continue to find the ganks. They've got the Vendetta to try and set things up with the relocates from the Wisp, and Wisp still just going to town on Empire. He's got the relocate available now, and charging up those spirits. Who have they got vision on? Funnick's on mid, but there's not really any backup for him right now. And the support's just lingering around the Phantom Lancer, so he is one tough cookie to crack. Though Empire now making their way down towards Buck. Godluck does have the Brewmaster ultimate up again, so if there was ever a good time to fight for Empire, it's sort of now. Scandal's going to be able to find himself an Invis, and Nyx coming in aggressively with the Vendetta. Wisp is ready to TP in at a moment's notice. Though Nyx is going to have to be careful, just scouting for now. Hopefully they've had a very thorough inventory check to check for any anti-invis. And there is a sentry up on Silent. They did see the Vendetta pop as well. They might have heard it, since sound design is a little bit weird at times. So he's just going to back himself off at the side of that. And Phantom Lancer just making his way towards the Fusel, looking extremely good for him. ZXC off to a bad start, and we saw the net worth. I mean, the top 3 farmers on the map were Empire. Hold that thought. Shadow Demon's being dragged back. He does manage to get the disruption off, however, so buying some time. The vacuum through into the wall. Now Nyx on the retreat as well, looking like a slightly better team fight for Empire. In comes the Wisp, but the immediate global silence, keeping this team fight down at least for a little bit. We've got the surge forward on the Brewmaster. Hasn't used the ultimate just yet. Wisp going to be going back to where he came from in just a second. Nyx comes in, but he's going to be ticked down. That's already 2 kills from Empire. Shadow Demon will be respawning in just a second. The Illusions trying to put some damage down on Silent, but Empire with only the commitment. Well, they committed the wall and the lasso, but a nice team fight for them. And I mean, Wisp not really able to do all that much with that global silence. ZXC is not done at the fight on bot. Fortifications get the pop and the buyback from the Nyx. They're looking for this fight. The TP's coming in, but Funnick already waiting for him. The immediate Vendetta looking for the Keeper of the Light. Is he going to be able to find him? Blocked in. The Panda ultimate pops off to try and buy some space. ZXC being stunned up right now. The Nyx is going to drop, and Wisp trying to make his way into this fight, but he's pretty low on mana. The Sonic Wave pops in over the top. Blinding Light knocks everybody back. The Panda's still doing a great job of keeping this team fight split up. And a killing spree for the Wisp. What is he doing? He's still completely out of mana right now. The ZXC not done just yet. Jumps in aggressively. Doesn't manage to find the tether stun. And Blow Your Brain, while low, shouldn't be killed off by that Shadow Strike. So pretty good exchange overall from Empire. They're still trading by still trailing by about 8 kills. And still no death on the Phantom Lancer just yet. And the tier 1 tower will be denied. As far as overall XP goes, it's about a 5k lead in favor of the Radiant. Empire pushing that back a little bit, and about actually a 2k gold lead in favor of Empire, though that's pretty much just the tower exchange so far. They're up 2 towers, that's the majority of it, and the net worth for the solos of PR looking better and better by the minute. ZXC making his way towards the BKB, gonna have that in short order, and Moonlight almost has his Diffusal Blade finished up. So the PL that was having a terrible start to the game, hold that thought. Wisp's going to be dragged back on mid. Everything thrown at him, even a vacuum from Scandal, just to ensure that kill. They are sick of this Wisp. And now grouping up on mid. Panda ultimate still down, at least for a little while. They don't have the lasso. They do have the rank 2 wall, however, so they might be able to leverage that into a little bit of a push, though Nyx is split pushing on top. And yeah, Empire just holding on to the 5-man right now. They do have slightly better team fight, and they can roll their ultimates a little bit more. So if they invest a wall and a global silence into one fight, then the next fight, then they've got Panda ultimate and lasso, and then by the time that fight's over, they can take another fight with the global silence and the wall. So taking good advantage of that, but with all the tier 1s down, it's going to be significantly more difficult pushing into the Power Ranger tier 2s, and with the clock sort of ticking of the Phantom Lancer, we'll see if Empire are going to be able to make enough happen before we get into this late game. And yeah, PR finding some okay farm. Shadow Demon still just being a very diligent warder, creating space for the PL just to farm up in the jungle. He's got his Diffusal up. And yeah, just covering pretty much all of the entrances right now with these wards. Bottom lane is being pushed out as well. So there isn't really the threat of that tier 1, and pretty much all of Empire grouped up on mid. We've actually got a gem picked up from Funnick. So a nice early pickup, and keeps the aggression going, especially on the Phantom Lancer. But no escape for him. These are just Illusions pushing out down on bot, and Empire, fairly standard tactics for them. As soon as they've taken all the tier 1s, going to head straight into the Roshan pit, try and secure themselves a couple more levels and a little bit more gold. We'll also have that Aegis up. It would be nice to see them try and pool a little bit more of this XP on Blow Your Brain, but I think they just want to get this finished as quickly as they can, especially with the PL Illusion coming in to scout this one out. But yeah, Blow getting that next point up in the global silence. Not a huge deal, but would be nice to see him with a couple more levels online. And the Brewmaster as well. I think Funnick and Scandal could have afforded to duck out, but they're just they're just going for maximum speed. Gonna pop off a smoke. And the Aegis is going to be in the hands of the Silencer. Funnick comes in, manages to find the drag back onto the Queen of Pain, but BKB popped off just before that happened, so not actually all that much damage. The Sonic Wave in over the top of 2, and the Impale connecting on 3. Go Black dropping low. He does have the ultimate ready, but it's a strictly defensive ultimate right now, and the Aegis already used by Player Brain. The Panda ultimate trying to bring down Moonlight right now. Good defensive disruption, going to keep him alive at least for a little bit. There is going to be a Flame Break, so Moonlight does drop, but it's the only kill so far. Blow still going to work, and now stealing a bunch of int. Finds a kill on the Wisp. Comes back for ZXC, still got enough mana to just blink himself out, but in the end, a fairly good exchange for Empire with Blow Your Brain, making a triumphant return to that fight with the Aegis. Yeah, what initiation for Power Rangers. They found a 3-man Impale over here. ZXC is actually going to jump himself up onto the high ground, gives his TP to the Nyx. Nyx gives the TP back, says, I don't need it. I'm just going to TP myself out, but I guess a nice little bit of team play there. And PR still 7 kills ahead, so a fairly even trade after that team fight, but Empire did have to use the Aegis as well, and not able to leverage the Aegis into trying to claim the tier 2 towers. And again, Empire have to be looking at their wristwatches. The clock is ticking, and PL is going to be getting stronger and stronger. Finally suffers a death in that last fight, but already looking pretty good as far as the net worth goes. And Empire, did they manage to hold on to the gem? Yes, they did, so Funnick still has that one. So denying a lot of vision to Power Rangers. As you can see, they're playing a little bit blind right now. And the gem, I guess it's a doubly nice pickup since it helped shut down any aggressive wards that PR have running to try and, oh god, sorry guys, to try and find any relocate pickoffs. So definitely a worthwhile investment in this game, and hopefully they'll be able to hold on to it. And worth noting that Funnick does also have his Force Staff online. So, Go Black, just support Brewmaster. He's got himself an urn. Blade Brain now making his way towards a Rod of Atos. And Moonlight, looks like he has his eyes greedily set on this tier 1 up on top. The Scandal, probably going to have a couple of things to say about that. He's got the Hood of Defiance and a Point Booster up, so can either head towards the Pipe or the Ags. Next, it's probably, well, I would suspect it's just going to be a casual Point Booster for some survivability and mana. To help try and sustain the Pipe as well once it's online, since it can become difficult for Darkseer, especially if he doesn't have Arcane Boots. We'll be relying fairly heavily on the Keeper of the Light to make sure that he's topped off in terms of mana so that he can get Wall, Mech, and Pipe off in every fight. And as you can see, he is now working his way towards the Pipe. As we saw, the Sonic Wave absolutely devastating Empire. And a big problem for them was they grabbed ZXC, but he BKB'd, and they couldn't actually get any damage down on him. I mean, Empire a little bit lacking in the right-click department. A lot of magical damage for them. Oh, Nyx comes in looking for the Initiate, but doesn't actually find anyone with the Impale. Nice split, the Binding Light, bringing everyone back, and now Funnick just surged up, trying to do what he can in this fight. Blow Your Brain. Nobody dead just yet. The Vacuum back. Funnick's going to try and find the drag, the immediate global silence. What's going on with Funnick? He finds the drag back onto ZXC. He has popped his BKB again, so Empire just slapping him down. Impale, and Quap actually manages to disengage. Nyx comes in, looking angry with the Carapace, but finds himself knocked back by the Flame Break. Will be the first casualty of this fight. And now a Force Staff forward from Blow. Double Force Staff, still looking for these kills. The Tether up on Kot will be able to get the Shadow Demon back to safety. And he did have a defensive disruption up his sleeve as well. But nicely played by Empire, and only investing, well, they invested the Global Silence and they invested the Lasso. But still the Wall and still the Panda Split available if they want to try and go for some more pushes. And that, again, as I mentioned earlier, is a big strength of Empire's lineup. Being able to have these rolling team fights, always having a big cooldown to throw in on mid. Oh, Blade Brain in trouble. We've got a relocate gank in from the Quap and from the Wisp, and Empire not able to come and bail him out. So a nice little pick off there from Power Rangers, and they've managed to get one ward up to try and find these relocate ganks, but Blow just farming by himself on mid and sort of paying for it. Moonlight, how are things going for him? Not a whole lot of item progression to speak of just yet. Going to be TPing himself down towards bot, and Funnick with an Inviscern and his Lasso already available. Calling that he wants to try and find a gank maybe, but ZX is actually jumping straight in the Nyx, chasing after Silent right now. Funnick is going to reveal himself, Blinding Light knocking them back, so Silent will be fine to disengage. And the Cavalry making their way through. Scandal really wants to finish off his Pipe before the next team fight, and will have that right this second. So looking pretty good for Empire. Only 40 seconds away from the Global Silence. The Lasso is already off cooldown. And we still haven't seen the Wall or the Primal Split used in a little bit. And Roshan, for anyone wondering, is halfway through its cooldown right now, so about 5 minutes away. And Wisp, what are we seeing from him? He's finished up a mech as well, and yeah, I mean, I'm seeing it in chat, but frankly, Wisp MVP for Power Rangers right now. Getting everything that the team needs. I mean, helping at the tri-lane on bot, really winning that lane winning that lane for Power Rangers. And now Dagon, Ern, Mech, he's a one-man healing machine. Oh, I've got a drag back on the Nyx right now. That this Carapace will send him up. The Sonic Wave in over the top. Scandal comes in, looking for some initiation. The Primal Split's going to pop as well. Global Silence used there. Vacuum back. Nyx drops low. They've still got the gem. They're going to find one kill to start things off. Scandal does drop fairly low. Doesn't have the mech or the pipe left. And Moonlight, Rod of Atos up. The Panda just burning him down. Will be killed off. ZXC jumping himself back. Wisp, nice tether through. Is he going to be able to escape? There's a surge forward on Goblack. Trying to find this kill. Funnick actually jumps into the trees, but the Flamebreak finds the kill regardless. Nicely played by him. Blow Your Brain will drop the disruption up on Goblack. And now Shadow Demon trying to make his escape. Just fighting around the tower. There's a Soul Catcher up, but Funnick says he's not done just yet. ZXC, oh, eats the Illuminate, is going to have to back off and leave the Shadow Demon for dead. And Funnick not done. Flame Break through, triple kill for the man himself. And nicely played team fight from Empire, closing that gap. Only a 3-kill split at the moment. And won't be able to leverage this into a tower since all of the lanes are pushed out. But a good team fight regardless, and having a quick check in on the XP and gold. XP just touching 0 for the first time in a long while. And gold, about a 4k lead, still in favor of Empire. Never actually getting back to the Radiant side, though that is still pretty much just towers at the moment. Since there are still tier 1s up on top and on mid, and as Power Rangers get stronger, they can just use Relocate to take down these towers, which don't have backdoor protection. So that gold will be forthcoming, at least at some point. Empire right now probably just have the Roshan timer in the front of their minds. It's about 3 minutes away, and they're waiting on the Panda split for about a minute. They're waiting on a Darkseer wall. No, it's actually just mana. And the Silencer ultimate still on cooldown for about 40 seconds. So a little bit of downtime for them to try and find a little bit of farm, and a minor window of opportunity for Power Rangers. But again, they just don't really have all that much vision right now. I mean, switching over to the Radiant Vision one more time, we've got some scouting happening from the Nyx, trying to make this Relocate pickoff happen, but the gem really going to work for Empire in the situation. And now making their way up towards top. Ultimate's cooling off. Nyx back behind the tower, still trying to find these picks. It's a 5-man push from Power Rangers. They know that ultimates are on cooldown at least for a bit, so should be able to claim themselves some easy gold. And Empire not going to make a huge fuss of this tower unless they can find a nice initiation. Will they be able to find the deny? Funnick chasing through right now, wiping out that wave of illusions, and Empire looks like they are just considering this. Still fairly defensive positioning, however. And maybe just hoping to try and grab some stragglers using Funnick. He doesn't have much left of the Firefly. Right now he's going to jump on top of the Nyx, and the Force Staff back. Wisp comes in with the tether, but the Vacuum and the wall already popped. The Global Silence as well. Eliminate over the top. The Sonic Wave. Queen of Pain is BKB'd, so immune to the Global Silence there. Wisp trying to make the escape, and still no kill picked up just yet. Wisp turns around for the Dagon Force Staff back from Blow Your Brain, and ZXC says, "You're not getting away from me." Picks up that kill. Scandal now completely out of mana. The Illusion still doing a good job. Shadow Demon's going to drop after that defensive disruption. Quap still having trouble choosing a target. Moonlight going to work on Funnick, and not dead just yet. Couple more right clicks. Will try to Flame Break just to try and buy some more time for these Pandas, and Moonlight dropping low. Was the gem actually killed off by ZXC? I think it was. Goblack with a double kill. Not done just yet, though. I think ZXC just going to be fine to blink himself away, but another very convincing team fight from Empire, though they threw everything and the kitchen sink at that one, using all of their big cooldowns. But in the end, working out quite favorably. And yeah, that's a nice team fight from Empire. I mean, everybody's surviving for a really long time and actually kiting the Queen of Pain around for a bit. It was a nice pickup for PR, since I do believe Empire lost their gem. It was killed off. So nicely played there by the Quap. And that does mean that PR can now try and get some more aggressive boards up. They're actually going blind into the Radiant Jungle. There's a blink away from Gobla. They've seen this come in. Can they find the courier? ZXC looking for it right now. Will be able to kill it off. Is Wisp here to try and bail him out? Comes in, a couple of seconds left, and now just being healed up as he makes his escape. So they didn't find a kill, but they got a consolation prize. They got the courier, and that's pretty much worth the tower. So we might actually see, no, the gold's still in favor of Empire, but a lot from that courier pickoff. And I'm not sure if there was anything on the courier. I can't actually check. My keybinds are still stuffed, and that's something that I should remember to fix at some point. So sorry about that one, guys. I'm not sure if there's anything significant on it. We'll be able to check in about 2 minutes, or if I switch to the menus and change my courier keybind. For anyone who's curious, when you're spectating a game, if you hit your courier hotkey, you can't actually see the items. We've got a huge 3-man impale, and the Nick's still looking for this kill, but not going to be slowed down by the Rod of Atos. I think he's going to pay for this one. Going to try and TP himself out, but the burst damage too much. I think a little bit greedy going for the Keeper of the Light there. Didn't really have enough burst damage, and Silent, he goes for a surprisingly tanky Keeper of the Light build, picks himself up a Naked Vitality Booster. Looks like he is going to be building himself towards a Rod of Atos as well, but yeah, more tanky on the Coddle than the Nyx would be expecting. Empire, a little bit light on cooldowns right now. They are just minus the Panda split. Funnick comes in, looking for a little bit of initiation. Pop out the Firefly. It is a fairly significant cooldown, so if he's going to do anything, it needs to be within this duration. Just keeping the flying vision going right now since there aren't any wards for Empire up. And ZXC comes in aggressively. Funnick almost out of the Firefly. Gonna have to try and make himself, well, get his way up onto the high ground. Roshan dropping low, but not fast enough. ZXC drops in. He pops with the BKB, but now Silent, since it does go through the BKB if it's popped second. Now the drag back into the pit, waiting arms of Empire. Will the pop be killed off? The answer is yes. And now the Master Ultimate off cooldown pops off. Power Rangers being split to the 4 corners of the earth. Blow will drop to Moonlight. Now trying to rejoin this fight. Buyback from ZXC. Trying to get back in. Nyx comes through with the Vendetta. The tether through onto the PL, being chased. Though Funnick still just playing around up on the high ground. Oh, the Wisp in trouble. Gets clapped by Goblack. But look at the illusion just going to a huge flame break. Buys Goblack some space. Still alive somehow. Moonlight wants this kill. He does have a Spirit Lance, but no, he's going to drop Ultra Kill for Funnick. ZXC going to be forced to jump himself down onto the low ground, but Funnick continues to give chase. And he's got a new gem in his inventory. ZXC drops low. The Force Staff from Funnick doesn't actually make it up onto the high ground. Goblack. Sonic Wave doesn't connect on anything. Rampage for the Batrider. Funnick. Round of applause for this man right here. At the end of that fight, let's have a quick check in on who bought back. It was just ZXC being killed off at the very start. But yeah, Funnick Dota indeed. Nicely played by him. And Empire, Roshan has healed up a little bit, but it should be their eagerly awaited prize back in the pit. And Lasso and Wolf still both available right now. We did see the Lasso used, but the short cooldown coming into play there. So switching it up to net worth, Scandal looking fantastic. He does actually have enough to finish up his Aghanim Scepter right this second if he would like. Blow now with the Aegis in hand. And Funnick completed Assault Cuirass for him. And this is something that we do frequently see Empire go for. When they're in a situation where they're up against a slightly better late game lineup. Nice Spirit Bomb there from the Wisp, perfectly timed, wiped out the creep wave, put some pressure in, but the AC a big help, especially as far as taking down these remaining towers go. And it's still a pretty long way to victory for them, but the last few team fights have been looking very convincing, and Empire just showing their their superior team fight coordination and doing a great job of splitting Power Rangers up. We saw the PL had to go up, Wisp had to tether through into a sort of compromising position. Everyone else tried to make it back to the fight at the tier 1, but it was a little bit further away than they would have hoped, and Quap wasn't really able to do too much with the second life. So nicely played, nicely positioned from Empire. They've got 5 whole minutes to use this Aegis however they please, so hopefully going to be able to find either a Rex or the remaining tier 2 towers for Power Rangers. And Kot just making his way towards what might be a Heaven's Halberd right now, or perhaps just a BKB. Nyx farming towards a Blink. We've still got ZXC making his way towards a Hex, but it's not really ever going to be forthcoming, at least for a while, especially with that buyback that he invested in the last fight. So Empire going to have to feel pretty confident about that. PL is split pushing up on top, and there aren't any Boots of Travel or anything up just yet on Empire to try and deal with it. And Kot will disconnect, so we're going to have a very quick pause. And 15k, now the XP lead in favor of Empire, and about 7,500 the gold difference. And we've got some more promotion for Mag, so that's at follow Mag. Remember to follow Mag. But yeah, that's just some shoutouts in chat. And yeah, PR just looking to put some split pressure on right now, though Empire should be fine to claim this tier 2. We've got a Vlad's now up on the Brewmaster, so more team fight, well, more auras galore coming online for them. And Scandal now with the Aghanim Scepter finished up. Level 18 as well, so it's a max rank Wall of Replica with a +1 on top. PL makes his way towards a Manta style, though. Almost has that one finished, in fact. Not too far away at the moment. And we are ready to go. So the split push is going to continue from these two heroes in the side lanes, though tier 2 on mid going to be uncontested by Power Rangers. They don't want to risk a team fight. They don't want to risk being picked apart by Funnick, but it seems like Empire don't actually have defending these lanes on the agenda. The tier 2 will be taken by the Phantom Lancer, but just putting some damage down on the tier 3 right now, and I guess daring PR to initiate, but they actually managed to grab the Nyx, drag him straight back to his doom. The pipe pops off, Empire up onto the high ground. Their base is in a little bit of trouble, but they haven't headed back just yet. The fortification is going to pop off for the Radiant side. There is still a fortification available for the Dire, and using that as soon as these two heroes clash up against the tower. That's a huge wave. PL still going to work, but the Drax now in trouble, and neither team being dissuaded just yet. There's a buyback from the Nyx. Everybody TPing in, but the melee barracks already gone. Scandal going to be surging himself out. Are we going to see an Impale? There's a nice purge. Impale as well, but the Force Staff back. Empire take care of their own. Can they find this kill on Scandal? We've still got, we've got the relocate up into the base. In comes the Brewmaster trying to buy some time, keep the racks up, but ZXC just jumping around, wants to find this one. The relocate does go back, and Quap going to be sent up into the air as the cavalry arrives. Ion shell damage just waiting. There was the tier 3 taken, though I don't think we're going to see the racks. And ZXC forced to pop off the BKB to try and TP himself to safety. So the overall exchange is a melee barracks for Empire taken on mid. They didn't lose anyone. They found one kill. They forced the buyback on the Nyx, and now it's a tier 3 taken down on bot by Power Rangers, and the tier 3 taken up on top. So not a terrible exchange overall. And yeah, a little bit of a base race going on there, frankly. And cheers for that, Alpha Wolf. I'm live with you guys, so I see everything in chat. I try not to interact with you guys too much, but when I run out of stuff to say, when it's a little bit of a lull in the play, I do have a quick peek across. We've got about 2 minutes left for Empire with that Aegis, so they're still going to be eager to try and make something happen. And while the Brewmaster Ultimate is on cooldown for a little bit, it is ranked up now, so it's not too far away. And they've still got everything else to try and work with. This can find himself a haste, just zipping away right now. As you can see, warding has fallen a little bit by the wayside for both teams. We do still have that gem up on Funnick, and not really enough room for PR to buy themselves a gem, though. Empire just playing 5-man Dodo, relatively unconcerned, I think, about the overall vision. And just with the superior map control they have right now, especially with the racks taken on mid, that's something that PR need to constantly be mindful of. They have better tabs on, well, they have a better idea of where PR are at all times. And Empire just moving down as 5 through the Radiant Jungle right now. We're going to have a relocate up towards top. Wisp trying to put the pressure on, and another perfect Spirit Bomb. Nicely done. For anyone who's wondering what I'm talking about with the Spirit Bomb, when the Wisp spirits expire, so when they run out of duration, they actually explode as if they hit a hero. So it's great for flash farming camps, it's great for applying immediate pressure, and it's something that you should do every single time you go for a relocate gank. Have a second set of spirits ready. Every single relocate gank should be 2 tethers, 2 tether stuns, and 2 full sets of spirits from the Wisp, which is actually what makes him such a powerful ganker. And I guess if you want tips, then this guy's your man, because he's doing an absolutely fantastic job on the Wisp this game. So Funnick, what's he got? He's now got some Boots of Travel. Going to help out if we see another round of split pushing from PR, though he is the primary initiation from Empire, so he probably won't be able to just sit back at base, since then PR could just leave the illusions pushing. Funnick is forced to deal with him. He TP's in, but it might be a little bit too late. And then PR take an okay team fight. ZXC making some pretty good progress, frankly, towards his Hex. At this point, I think he got the last hit on the tower down on bot, so quite a bit of farm going his way. And he's going to have that Hex up in just a little bit. And Scandal probably going to upgrade his Tranquil Boots next. Might see some Boots of Travel as well from him. I guess they realized the full strength of the PR split push in the last fight. As far as item progression goes for the Phantom Lancer, he's got his Manta style finished up, and 3.2k gold up in the bank as well. So going to be making his way towards that next big pickup quite soon. It's probably just going to be the heart, I would suspect. And yeah, the Scythe device now finished up for the Queen of Pain. So isn't going to have buyback gold for this next engagement if it's necessary, but the Hex is going to be a big help, especially if they can burst down one of the big ultimates from Empire. And Blow, quite squishy, doesn't really have all that much left with the Aegis either, only about 30 seconds, so a reasonable target to focus down. The Global Silence is wreaking havoc, and now max level as well, so it's a full 6 seconds of PR doing nothing. And something that I mentioned earlier on, but I guess I haven't touched on since, if Global Silence pops and you BKB, you dispel the silence. If you're BKB'd when Global Silence goes off, you are silenced through the BKB. So I guess just clarifying that for anyone who's concerned. But yeah, that's, well, not anyone who's concerned, but anyone who is curious. So Nyx, now with his Blink Dagger finished up, a little bit of initiation now going back the way of PR. They have had troubles, especially with the gem being up on Phonic pretty much the entire game. It's been difficult for Nyx to try and get in, and until the Hex came up on the Quap, he was pretty much their primary source of initiation. So the Blink Dagger helps out, and they've got the Hex as well. So Teamfight's looking a little bit better right now, and Scandal just going to be making his way towards the Hex, in fact, with the Ultimate Orb now picked up. Blurry Brain, 3.2k gold up in the bank. He has lost that Aegis right now. Silent has finished up his 4-staff, though we saw that earlier on. And Empire just trying to slow down the split push from the PL Illusions up on top. The nice thing for them right now is that since they've already raxed mid, there are less places for PR to be split pushing. As we saw earlier, they were pushing down mid, and PR had 2 avenues to push out. But now with mid lane sort of naturally pushing, and Empire going to be turning their attention towards one of the side lanes, there's only one place that PR can really be split pushing. And Empire actually done a great job of holding onto these towers on mid, even up until this point in the game, though. ZXC looking to change that quite soon. As far as his BKB duration goes, he's actually now down to 5 seconds, so well, Blurry Brain with a nicely timed silence can actually waste pretty much the full duration of the BKB, unless Queen of Pain again pops it reactively to the Global Silence. But Blow is not really in any rush to be using it, since PR don't have any, big blink initiate like a Tide or an Enigma or something like that. Empire actually just forced to deal with split push right now, so slowing down a little bit. We're going to disconnect off from the Nyx, so we'll probably see a very quick pause. It's about 2 minutes away from the next Roshan, and that's going to be an Aegis and Cheese up for grabs, so I think Empire perhaps just waiting around for that one, unless they can find themselves a nice pick-off. And the Wisp completely disappears because he's entirely made out of particles, so you can just see the outline there. We've got a couple of disconnects off from admins as well. The big question is the farm on the Phantom Lancer. He's getting pretty close to his next big pickup, and probably just going to be seeing the Heart of Tarrasque quite soon. Still actually holding on, well, holding off upgrading that Diffusal to level 2. So trying to make use of the Purge. It is extremely helpful against Empire right now, especially when you've got Surge up on Darkseer and things like that. And even if there's a scary Darkseer illusion of PL, then he can also purge that to throw out a little bit of damage to try and deal with it. And we do now have a reconnect from the Wisp. For anyone interested in the overall graphs, it's still level at 15k as far as XP goes for Empire, and about 5k gold, pushing its way steadily back for PR. So just out farming a little bit right now. And towers actually now finally even. It's actually 2 tier 3s taken by PR, so they're slightly ahead as far as the tower gold goes. And still managing to keep some good defensive wards up despite the gem up on Empire. But we haven't seen the relocate really come into play for a while. And that, again, is just the nature of this heading in towards the late game, and PR having no tabs on any of Empire's heroes right now. And most of them are tanky, tanky enough at this point, aside from maybe Silent, that just the Quap plus the Wisp isn't really going to be cutting it. And Wisp, 3k gold up in the bank for him as well, so making some good progress towards his next item. We're still paused, everyone's reconnected, so I feel like asking why we're waiting. Yeah, we are ready to go. And PL just continues to farm. Are we going to see the heart? Yeah, that's going to be the heart, almost finished up right the second. The courier flying out right now, and the illusion's probably going to find him the last couple hundred gold that he does need to pick that one up. Yeah, just about 200 away. A courier snipe could be big right now, though I'm not sure if Empire would have literally no idea that this is going on, so it's the realms of fantasy there, folks. Silencer doesn't have a BKB outright purchased for him, so Blow, no buyback for the next fight. But it's going to be a big help, and I mentioned initiating on Blow Your Brain with the Hex to try and avoid the Global Silence coming out, but the BKB going to be sort of removing the possibility of that. And now Empire group up and push on mid, probably just looking for lane control since Roshan is about a minute away. And if they get some good momentum going towards mid, they do have the Raxed creeps pushing in, so that buys them some time. Bot lane is naturally pushing out in their favor right now, and PL will be applying some momentum up towards top, which one of the heroes with Boots of Travel might have to potentially deal with. I think it's only Funnick right now. Yep, he's got his bots up. And Roshan just a couple of seconds away. And Empire just go back to farming for a little bit. I guess just waiting. They don't have any vision over the pit. There is a very obvious indication that PR are going for Roshan if they just don't see anyone on middle lane, and this is just constantly pushing in. So Empire, again, don't really need that vision. And Scandal now with the Scythe of Ice finished up, so there's not going to be buyback for him either, but he is absolutely huge right now. If they can somehow kill off this Darkseer before he uses the majority of his abilities and the majority of his items, that's going to be huge for PR. But there's just so many threats right now on Empire, it's so difficult to decide who to hex. If Funnick jumps in and he gets hexed, then Global Silence will pop and Empire will come in with the rest of the lineup. If Quap initiates aggressively, uses the hex on either the Darkseer or the Silencer, then Empire can pretty much just turn around, use the lasso on her, and then try and find that kill there. So initiating into Empire is extremely difficult right now, and I think PR probably just going to be waiting around to have the high ground advantage. I mean, as you've seen, team fights haven't really been working out in their favor for the last little bit. And Moonlight now just pushing up. On top, going to throw some more illusions that way. And just keeping Empire's attention there, though they do have a full 6 minutes with the Aegis in hand to try and do something. But Hart now finished up on PL. He's significantly more difficult to deal with now. And as he just gains more and more agi, the illusions are getting tankier. Well, the illusions are getting more and more damaging, and he's getting tankier and tankier. Going to relocate coming in for Funnick. He's in trouble. He's going to be hexed up as well. Just immediately dropped. No chance for him to escape. I don't think there was anything canceling the blink, so just not a fast reaction from him on that blink dagger, especially since you can see the relocate coming through. And he doesn't have buyback right now. So that's a full 60 seconds that PR have wasted of Empire's time holding on to that Aegis, and that's a pretty significant pickup. PL's going to be putting some split pressure on top. Empire do have 2 towers to fight through on mid, and a fortification as well, so it probably shouldn't be another Rax right now. Well, it shouldn't be a Rax at all from PR, but that's a big pickoff on Funnick. And yeah, PR going to be able to claim the tier 1 on mid. A little bit of gold going their way. Not sure if it's really accelerating any items, and just a blink back from Goblack. They can't afford another pickoff right now. A pickoff on a hero without buyback would be a disaster. And the illusions just going to be vacuumed away. They get a little bit of damage down on the racks, but it does have some pretty good regen. The relocate goes over to bot, however, it's going to force out the fortification, and they did have creeps in the base, but Silent comes in. Can he find the blinding light? He might be able to find a split. Wisp is completely out of mana, and the illusion's still doing a little bit of damage. Those are Manta-style illusions. So just working the racks down, and that done about half HP, so PR making full use of this time. They have used the relocate, but again, it's not huge for them to have. They're not really finding pickoffs with it, aside from that pickoff on Funnick on top. And I see what you guys mean about the flicker to black. I think it just happened then, so if you guys see that, just do shout out in chat and confirm for me, because I think I see what you guys are talking about. It looks like the HUD is flickering as well, and not necessarily the game world, though I'm not sure. So anyway, we've got 3.7k gold up on the Queen of Pain. She handily has buyback, and we'll see what she goes for next. It might just be working towards some damage at this point, since we are in the later stages of the game. And Nyx spots at Goblack. Goblack, there's nobody with you right now. You've got buyback, but a pickoff could be disastrous. And Wisp has relocate. Goblack comes down. The rest of Empire moving through, but I think it was nothing but sheer intimidation keeping Goblack alive there. There was nobody ready to really help him out, but PR are going to fortunately back themselves off, so playing the more defensive game at the moment. And oh, we've got the relocate in from the Wisp, hunting for Silent, not going to be able to find him, so he will be able to get some momentum going towards this top lane. We've got 3 down on bot. We've got Boots of Travel up on the Keeper of the Light. We've got Cheese up on Blow Your Brain right now, and the Aegis actually on Scandal. So, everybody going to making their way down towards bot. The Illusion Army is going to be pushing through mid, but there is still a tier 2 there. And ZXC jumps in aggressively, pops with the BKB, will be immediately silenced. The split from Moonlight gets him out of that one. Empire on the retreat, at least for a little bit. Go Black running low on mana, needs to have enough for that split. Looks like he's fine for now. Nice Impale connects through on 2. The Sonic Wave in over the top, but Nyx now drags straight back. Immediately pops ZXC. Now Hex, the Panda ultimate pops, the Vacuum back. 3 kills already going the way of Empire. Got some buybacks popping off. ZXC are going to be rejoining the fray in just a second, but Moonlight stands and fights, but Empire just doing so much damage. Now the buyback from the Phantom Lancer as well. They're on the back foot, and Funnick, he's not done. He's still got the lasso, gets ZXC back into the waiting arms of Empire. Find that kill. Now looking at Cat, he's going to be able to relocate himself out, but Queen of Pain dead for 75 seconds, and while Phantom Lancer is here, Empire is still looking strong. Hex going to be up in just a second, and the relocate was actually out, so they're just waiting to camp him. Nice tether through, though I think the Wisp is dead regardless, and the Vacuum back actually catches Moonlight as well. He's now hexed, running around as a pig. We've got a buyback from the Wisp, but everyone else still dead, and they want this PL on the mat right this second. He's already used his buyback. He needs to survive. The overcharge keeping him alive. A nice 3-man impale, buying him some space, but it looks like it's just going to be the last word, finishing him there, and now even more kills. Go Black with a dominating streak. Blow Your Brain pops off the Cheese to get himself topped off, and it's at least 40 seconds with no contest for Empire here. I think this is going to be it. And yeah, I need to promote some moderators to prevent some spam. I'll deal with that in just a second, guys. Normally I actually have a couple of mods lurking around, but I guess nobody's on tonight. We've got the Valiant Wisp being dragged back to Empire right now. Nicely played by him. Everybody dead on Pyro Rangers. Crop's gonna respawn in 15 seconds, and Shadow Demon will accompany her, but Empire straight onto the tier 4s. They're looking to lock this game out right now. No ultimates available, at least for a little bit, but there is actually going to be a second Darkseer wall available for Scandal in just a second, so Empire straight onto the Ancient. PR, never say die. Well, as I say that, they're gonna tap out. GG well played will be called. We'll probably have a couple more kills. Going either way. Impale through from Nyx. Funnick in a little bit of trouble. The Vendetta hit on top of him, though there is now a wall, there is now a pipe, and the game ends regardless. So, another exciting game from Starseries Season 5. As always, I have been Basekip, bringing you guys this one, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Yeah, I think that's about it as far as notes go. Really nicely played by Empire, and interesting to see, even making it towards 50 minutes. Phantom Lancer deftly dealt with by them. So thanks everyone for tuning in. If you've got any feedback for me as far as my casting goes, drop me a line in chat or send me an email at basekipdota@gmail.com. I might be back with the next game. I'm not feeling super tired, though I do have a couple of things to do tomorrow, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope to see you for future broadcasts.